Let's put our hands together, everybody.
I'm gonna lay down my burden down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. Gonna lay down my burden down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I ain't gonna study more no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I'm gonna put on my holy robe down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I'm gonna put on my holy robe down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Yeah. Down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. All right, play your guitar. Here we go. Blessed couples around the world, down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. Oh, blessed couples around the world, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Down by the riverside, 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 down by the riverside.
You call me out upon the waters, the great unknown, where feet may fail. And there I find you in the mystery, in oceans deep. My faith will stand, and I will call upon your name, and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace, for I am yours. You are mine. Your grace abounds in deepest waters. Your sovereign hand will be my guide. Where feet may fail and fear surrounds me, you've never failed, and you won't start now. So I will call upon your name, and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace, for I am yours. You are mine. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters, wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters, wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. Oh Jesus, my God, I will call upon your name. Keep my eyes above the waves. My soul will rest in your embrace. I am yours, and you are mine.
This is my Father's world, and to my listening ears, all nature sings and
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our family group service. My name is Naokimu Shiroda. I am the pastor for the Northeast region of Family Federation, and I am so glad that you're able to join us for our program today. The mission that we have here in the Northeast Family Federation is simply to share God's heart of hope, love, and peace to all families. And today's topic is on heavenly intimacy. As you know, February is known for Valentine's Day, and I just thought it would be a very appropriate topic to go over this time. Let's begin with a definition. So, heavenly means divine or very pleasing, and intimacy is all about this closeness, familiarity, or friendship. So, in short, heavenly intimacy is about this divine closeness or familiarity and friendship. And particularly, I wanted to talk about the relationship between husband and wife. Let's read this passage from Reverend Sun Myung Moon. The husband-wife relationship contains infinite and inexhaustible treasures. Once formed in the presence of God, the bond of husband and wife is meant to be absolute, and the two should become inseparable for eternity. So, a beautiful kind of message, really sharing the beauty and the treasures inside that husband-wife relationship and how it's meant to be centered with the presence of God, something that lasts for eternity. Now, that's easier said than done. And many times, although we're seeking love, it's not as easy to experience it. And I believe it's because there's some common misconceptions about love. Let's take a quick look on a few of them. So if you were to ask anybody, what is love? Typically, an understanding of love is that it's an intense feeling. It's how you feel when you're with somebody. Also, that's something that you need luck to really find find the right one, and then you'll be in love. And also that it's something that really allows me to feel happy. It's a very common kind of understanding of what love is. Quick story, I was in college freshman year. Actually, it was my sophomore year, and was just about to go to bed. Then my roommate comes knocking on my door and just says, "Now, I need to talk to you." So I reluctantly said yes. So he, charges into my room. I can tell that he's kind of drunk, and he starts talking very philosophically. He's like, "I just want to be happy." Long story short, he's sharing about struggles he's having with his girlfriend, and he's trying to find love or figure out what love is. And he was sharing how confused he was, that he doesn't know if she's the one or why he feels happy one day but feels miserable the next. So it was very confusing for him. And it's interesting because, at that time I hadn't even dated anyone, but he was coming to me for relationship advice. But it's understandable why love can be very confusing. But here are some tips. Well, actually, this image is that what I was just explaining before, that sometimes in love you feel really close, and other times you feel like you can't stand each other, even though you're together. So, what is love? Well, a few tips or a few thoughts on this. What is true love? I believe, this is all based on also scripture, that love or true love is not only a feeling. Feelings are important, feeling that closeness and this connection. But more than the feeling, it's important that there's commitment. That love is actually requires or true love requires commitment more than just feeling. The thing is, feelings go up and down, moment by moment. So if love is only based on feeling, then it's very volatile and it's not something that is consistent or even lasting. But if you add this element of commitment, then it allows the love to be more true. So it's important that we really understand that true love requires commitment. The other thing about true love is that it's not just by luck. It's not just about finding the one or having destiny allowing for that, magical moment, but it's actually something that you can work on to create yourself. Okay? So don't just wait for it, don't just hope for it, but you can prepare yourself to be able to create and experience true love. It's actually primarily based on your own growth and your ability to really create that environment of love. And finally, typically love is understood as, it's for me or it's what makes me feel good. But true love focuses not on how I feel in the relationship, but it's about how I can make someone else feel. Okay. So, again, these are somewhat counterintuitive, but basically, this thing, thinking love or true love is about living for the sake of my partner, making sure my partner is feeling loved more than what can my partner do for me. Quick story, my journey. I actually was born and grew up in the Unificationist faith. And as part of our faith, we really were strict on relationships, especially with the opposite gender. And since we're preparing for an arranged marriage, the idea was to focus first primarily on my relationship with God, our Heavenly Parent, and really preparing myself to be able to love basically anybody. So during that time, high school, there was a prom coming up, and I was invited to the prom by, this was when I was a junior. I was invited to the prom by a senior girl. And yeah, it was a tough, tough situation because I knew, I kind of wanted to go, and at the same time, I knew maybe it's not the best thing to do. Long story short, I went to the prayer room. I just asked God and I asked myself, what do I really want? And what came up was I did really want the romantic side of me, I guess, wanted to save my first dance with my future spouse. So anyway, I turned her down and I explained why. And fortunately, she was able to find somebody else to go with. And, fast forward 4 years later, I was able to actually receive the marriage blessing. This was back in 2000. And we received the blessing of marriage. Both of us were virgins and preparing ourselves for each other. And yeah, again, it wasn't all easy, but the idea was because our primary focus was preparing ourselves to be able to love someone, and also centered on our relationship with God, we found a way to make it work. A few years after that, we were both still in college, so she was able to invite me to the senior ball, and we had our first dance together. And 26 years later, we're still married, and we're continuing to grow in that relationship. Here's another quote. I thought this was really beautiful. It is the realm, this is talking about the relationship between husband and wife. It is the realm of the absolute subject and object partners in the four great realms of heart. The wife sees in her husband the ideal heavenly son, heavenly older brother, heavenly husband, and father. Anyway, this passage goes on to explain the other relationships, but the main point is that the relationship between husband and wife is meant to be um, all-encompassing of the other key relationships that we learn or grow through in our life. So, for example, parent-child relationship and sibling relations, all of this is actually preparation so that in that relationship between husband and wife, we can relate to each other in all of those different core familial relationships. So, it's not just husband and wife is not meant to be just intimate and in the bedroom, but I should be able to also experience being a father figure to her or being a son to my wife. Um, and also as siblings, that we can have fun together, tease each other, sometimes, even scold or, you know, really be more fatherly or her being more motherly to me. So it's meant to be this realm of heart where you can experience all kinds of relational experience within that relationship. Now, there is one aspect of the husband and wife relationship that is very unique, and that is the exclusivity when it comes to sexual love. Um, so how do we practice God-centered sexual love? One more quote, couples who become one in mind and body and perfect the husband and wife's realm of heart manifest God's joy. I think the part that really stood out from this quote was that, you know, the relationship between husband and wife is meant to be something holy and beautiful, something that would bring God joy. God actually created us to be able to relate in such a way, and originally was meant to not just bring the husband and wife great joy, but also to bring God glory as well. So, yeah, I think that's something that it kind of opens our, it's an important point to remember that it's not just the pleasure that we experience, but it's really in together with God that we can experience this joy. So, I kind of broke it down into three main points. How do you do this? Number one, to prioritize the spiritual or internal connection between husband and wife over the physical connection or attraction. Okay. So it's not always easy, but instead of just jumping into physically kissing or hugging or being more intimate, to really connect in spirit with each other, understand how they're feeling, talk with each other, really get to know and feel where they're currently at or feeling as a foundation before becoming physically close or intimate. So that's number one. Number two, we kind of mentioned this before, but prioritize giving pleasure, joy, relaxation over receiving it. So, yeah, it's kind of the foundational principle of love. Uh, give more than trying to receive, same idea, but in that relationship, instead of seeking pleasure first, to always prioritize how can I please my spouse. And third, simply consciously or subconsciously invite God into the experience so that you're really making it not something shameful or dirty, but something holy, something that's truly joyful. That's really what God-centered love is meant to be like. Some quick tips for husbands and wives. Let's read one verse from the Bible, 1 Corinthians 7:5, chapter 7, verse 5. Do not deprive one another, except perhaps by agreement for a limited time, that you may devote yourselves to prayer, but then come together again, so that Satan may not tempt you because of your lack of self-control. I think this is a very practical advice from the Bible. It is, especially in this day and age, I mean, this is historic, I think. It's very easy, or no one is immune to temptation. So it's really important that husband and wife don't deprive each other of that intimate sexual relationship. Um, and for guys especially, they need that kind of intimacy to really feel loved. It's not just a physical desire. It's really that's how guys can feel close is through that intimacy. Um, but I noticed that what helps in the for my wife to feel in the mood is really about me taking the time throughout the day to uh, do all the chores and take care of all kinds of things that might affect how she feels to really prepare the environment so that she feels the most calm and happy, stable. And it seems like a lot of work, but that's what it takes. It really takes being able to serve and invest in that relationship to create that proper environment. And for the wives, I just say, yeah, please, just, sometimes, you know, men, we're not perfect. We do a lot of stupid things. But if you could just be embracing and when we need the attention, if you can also provide it, it really makes a huge difference. There's nothing we wouldn't do to make you happy, but that intimate relationship is so important in that relationship. Okay, so summary. So heavenly intimacy is all about, or how to really experience that is making sure the spiritual is subject over the physical connection, prioritizing giving over receiving love, and making sure you invite God into the experience to keep it holy and sanctified. So the reflection question today is, what can I do this week to love my spouse? Or if you're single, what can you do to really love or prepare to love your future spouse? Uh, yeah, in conclusion, I would say always I go back to, God being a loving heavenly parent, both a father figure and a mother figure. And God designed each of us as God's sons and daughters to be able to kind of be in the image of God. Um, and so, God is one, made male and female, man and woman in the image of God, for the sake of those two to also be able to come together. Um, so really, this intimacy, heavenly intimacy, is something that God wants for each of us. But for us to experience that true love and that true intimacy, it requires preparation. It requires really maturing your heart so that you can give more than your desire to receive. And it does require this uh, intentional relationship where you can invite God into all aspects of your life, and ultimately, including in the bedroom. So, with that, if you're single, yeah, just know that really preparing your heart to be able to give love is the best preparation for your future marriage. Um, Thank you for listening. May God bless you and your family, and I hope to see you again next month.
everything. And just like magic, they make the whole world sing. That look in your eyes, with the joy it brings. When I hold you and you hold me, I know we're not what we used to be, but we carry so much history. Put on my sails and I rode the wind that led me here to you. I do it all again. I know it won't always be the same. Feelings don't change, they never fade away. When you're far from home, it's hard to know the way, but it's right there inside. When you need direction, look to the stars. Don't know where you're heading, follow your heart. When you're lost, I will guide you. I'm right there beside you, like a map of your memories. And just like a compass that leads the way, we may take the long road, but it'll never fade. When you're lost, I will guide you. Oh, tell me you'll try to remember on the darker days. Love is a compass. I see you there when I'm in my dreams, and just like a child full of possibilities, can't help but smile at the wonders of the world. 'Cause I know I've been there before. I know it will always be the same. Feelings don't change, they never fade away. When you're far from home, it's hard to know the way, but I'm right there inside. When you need direction, try close your eyes. If you don't know where you're heading, just hold on tight. When you're lost, I will guide you, 'cause I'm right there beside you.